everyone. Natalia at Yachting International Radio. I am live here today with Andrea, also known as Yacht Dame, all the way in New York. How are you today?
Hi guys, I am great. I'm so happy that I was asked to be on this interview. So yay, I'm good.
This is awesome. And usually you're on the other side asking people questions in the industry and roaming around the shows and events and also launches and private press conferences. So how does this feel?
It's interesting. Thankfully, it's the second one, so I'm not like the first one was. I was really nervous because, like you said, I'm used to having my little script and knowing where I'm going, but the organic flow is interesting.
That's cool. So tell me a bit more and us, the audience, about Yacht Dame. What is this?
So it is pretty much a platform to celebrate women in the industry. What I wanted to do to make it different from other platforms that celebrate women in maybe business, tech, aviation, and so forth was that I wanted the page or the platform itself to also give you insight into news or shows. That's why you see the press and this and that, not only like interviews about the women in the industry. And it's really just a place that I found that we didn't have. Like I saw that there were so many associations that you could join if you were part of the press in the Netherlands or if you were young professionals. There were like a lot of slots, but there was nothing that was like, okay, where's my community? Where are the other women that are also hustling? And then that's when I was like, why don't we just create it and we'll just call it a Yacht Dame? And that was pretty much how everything came about.
Fantastic. And we're all for promoting the voices of women in the industry of yachting. So very cool to see you doing this. And also your website, your social media. It's so refreshing to see such amazing talent go into it and promoting the voices that perhaps are unheard or have been heard, but in a different spin. So that's awesome. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I had some women that had been featured that a lot of people in the industry were like, oh, that's obvious. And then other people that were like, but why her? And then they read their bio. It's like, oh, I never knew that. Thank you for actually telling me. And then it was like, one of them was Antonella, a friend of mine that actually works at FedShip, saw that and was like, oh, she works in my same company. And how I have not met her yet. So that was for me like, oh, that's so happy to hear that people are now seeing everybody else, not only the ones that have been there for so many generations and, actually pushing through the boundaries, but other women that are doing different things, from entrepreneurs or, like we all know, the one that won the Young Designer Awards and so forth.
That's awesome. And specifically, how do you choose your yacht dames? Is there some kind of criteria that you need to fulfill, or?
Yeah, actually, it's 3 ways to be a yacht dame, 3 options, I guess. Last interview I was told you should name the buckets, and I have none, but I will name the categories. I will try right now. One of them has been the people that have been the women that have been in the industry for so many generations, and one of the best examples is Sarah from Heason, that has been in that position in marketing and trailblazing for so long. So that's someone that also comes with a lot of experience, is in an amazing position, and has been there for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you have someone else that's an entrepreneur, like Lauren Cotton or Randy Myers or Corinne, that they found a niche and they said, this doesn't exist, let me do it. And they're run by women. So that is, and of course it's in the yachting industry. That's the second one, the entrepreneurial bucket. And the third one is sort of women that are in positions you don't necessarily or don't usually find women. And that's when Antonella came in. She was the first one in that category. She's an exterior engineer at FedShip. So you see a lot of women, and for a long time we've been, I guess, allowed to be in design or in marketing. And in design in the yachting industry, you're like only in the interior design part. But if you're ever at any part of the equation that's in an other spectrum, that's different for them. So, for example, if Marcella hadn't been like also business development, so she's up there with Sarah, but she is young, she would be someone else that you would not expect to be in that role. Mm-hmm. So those are my 3 buckets. Amazing. That's how you make it.
Wow. So, okay. So Ria, our producer, needs to go in there because she's doing this amazing platform to get the voices of women out. And Karina is actually part of that. So that's awesome to see the synergies coming together, let's say.
Yeah, it was pretty cool too. Actually, when I got that document, it was like, oh yeah, my yacht dames are here. And definitely someone that's doing something like this would also be there. Like that's the same reason why Randy was a yacht dame in the
Right.
beginning. Same kind of category.
Okay. And tell me, because you travel the world as well and go to all the various yachting events and shows, what do you perceive as different if we compare the Mediterranean style of yachting compared to the US?
Wow, that was such an eye opener last year. Last year was honestly my first Monaco yacht show. I had been hearing about it for so long and wanted to invest in it, but every time I would ask actually people in the US, should I go? They would be like, oh, it's just different. And I was like, but what does different mean? Give me like specifics. Like, if I go there, what am I getting out of it? Like, as a business person, what am I putting into and what am I getting back? And it's completely different shows. And I tell that to the people that have not been to the US and the people that have only been to Mount and so forth. I feel like I'm now in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
The at least the USA shows are a lot more relaxed. It's a lot more casual. It's more of a entertainment kind of spectacle the shows become, and that also is because to get in to the show, the ticket is a lot. It's not as expensive to get into the Monaco show. The people that are there want to be there and have made sacrifice to be at that show. The people that are at the USA show, they could have woken up and like, it's a nice day out. Why don't I take my family to the show? So if you're going for business, like we are, you have to be even more strategic when you're in the USA and even have your itinerary better cleaned up and very structured properly, because the environment won't give you the structure. You have to create it. In the Monaco show, everywhere you turn, there's a business meeting here, there's a press release there, like everything is what you are looking for as someone who wants to produce business in the industry.
Correct. Yeah. And I saw us hopping in and out of different events ourselves, wearing the journalist hats. And what did you think then? Your first Monaco yacht show on that aspect of things?
Oh, that was so much fun. Yeah, when I saw you with the heat, and it was like, this is my first one, because I had been into other ones, thankfully, by friends who are designers and stuff, and they have invited me to see their product, their launches. But this one was the first time I was part of the media. Oh my God, I loved it. It was amazing to see how properly everything is presented, and they really invest in the story, how they are presenting it to you, because they know that you are the ones that are going to get their ideas throughout, throughout the globe. So I don't know, it was just amazing in that sense. There was a lot of structure. It was so professional, and it was even better to actually everybody that had been on LinkedIn with, like you, it was like, finally, I see you guys in person. So it's nice to see that we're all like in the same room for at least an hour.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. And in terms of yachting itself, like how do you perceive it evolving in the future?
Ooh, that's a heavy one. Well, when it comes to now the clientele that we all know, and we're all struggling with this transition, I honestly, and that is definitely not my expertise, I see it moving more into the charter role, and us creating magnificent yachts that can be utilized by different clients instead of just going all the way to this one will be in that family for so many generations. No, it'll probably be by you, by me this week, and so forth. So I see it more in that sense. And of course, when Expedition Yasa, you were such a big part of that expo in that summit this year in Monaco. I was so thrilled to see that. Mm-hmm. It was such an eye opener finally for the industry that the new generation of money, what they want to do is experience life, not necessarily keep the products. And yachting has found a way to adapt and shift and be like, yes, we will produce those products now for you. So that's how I see it shifting. And I feel right now, and as I've seen at this point, almost every big yacht builder has created their expedition yacht or are in the process, but they have designed it and they know that that is the future. So I
Yeah.
think that's, I love that you did that interview, the
Okay.
Cooks and Adventure interview.
That's
Yeah.
great. Well, hopefully I'll see you at the next one, scheduled for next
Yes.
year. So come over,
Right.
come over.
Yeah.
And in terms of social media, I mean, you're also one of these pioneers in trying to, well, not trying, you are spicing it up and making it elegant and animated. Also, something that I'm very passionate about in terms of making it a community where we're sharing content that we've seen before and so many times again and again. However, there's various spins of doing so. So are you finding that more and more people are getting influenced by it and using these tools to enlighten their social media account?
Actually, yes. I also, when I did start, I wasn't someone that was like, oh, I love yachting and I just found this beautiful picture and me post it. No, I actually went with an agenda.
Uh-huh.
I want to do this. I want to promote where our industry is traveling to. So that's in regards to the content. But in regards of like the method and how I'm producing the content, yes, I thought everybody's using animation. Why are we all so serious about this? Or why are things not? You would find things that people that were producing raw and vlog sort of like media, and then you had the clean cinematic ones, and it was like, why can't we just do both? Why can't someone be relatable but yet professional? And yes, I have found people now that are being influenced, which is, I know, a funny word to be using. And I get requests all the time on my stories to teach people how to do stories, because they're like, how did you get that font? And I was like, well, and I'm happy to share, like, these are the apps, this is what you have to do, this is how you do it fast. And when I do my consultings, I even give them a list. When I go to the show, nothing is like, oh, she so amazing that she saw that the name of the show and took a picture. No, that was like on the checklist. First, take a picture of the show. Then take a picture of Natalia. You just her. Make sure you tag her. Make sure you tag her 3 places that she hits all over the place. There is a structure. None of this is haphazard, which people think when they see us, they was like, oh, she's just talented. No, we thought of this. We created a plan and we're producing the plan. I decided to make it a little bit, fun and, a little bit comic relief that's different, but we're all doing the same thing. And that's how I think we have found each other, because we see, oh, Natalia's doing it like I am, Corinne's doing it like I am. So we're bubbling up and we're seeing other people that are like, thirsty for this change when it comes to the media production for yachting.
That's true. That's true. And we're getting invited to all these amazing events too, which is a bonus. And we're happy to share content in the way that we feel is relevant and is attractive to the other audiences that they're trying to inspire to. So well done. Yeah. Let's go with the social media hashtags.
Yeah. And if we want to actually think of it and put our business hats on, in the industry, now that we are shifting in who is actually buying the yachts, where are they getting all their media? They're all getting it through Twitter, apps, Snapchats. Everything is on their phone. So we have to, as the yachting industry, start being a little bit more relatable, a little bit more dynamic, because if we want to speak their language and they understand and come all the way to us, to the yachting industry, that's how we have to speak to them. Not just like, no, this is who we are and we're in our own little bubble. We actually have to meet them, not them meet us.
Sure, yeah. And of course, this is the Luxury with Natalia show. So the question is, what is your definition of luxury?
I know you're so good at that one. And for me, that one's so big. To be honest, I'm on the other spectrum. For me, luxury is, if it sounds so bad, but for me, it's like, if something happens, I see more of it as an emergency. I have the luxury to either take the time, I have the luxury to spend the amount of money if I see that I need to be at that summit. That for me is luxury. Being able to decide when something organically pops up in my radar and being like, yeah, you know what, I can do that. Other people don't have the luxury to leave their jobs and be at the Monaco Yacht Show or be at the summit, or so forth. So that's what I actually call luxury. Just being able to, this is what I want to do, and be able to execute. Yeah.
True. Good. Nice one. I like the answer because usually I get the time one and this is getting repetitive, but it's good for statistics to understand what people are thinking about luxury. And the dreaded L word, one of the interviews I had, it was like not perceived as a positive, but that's good. It's good to see what people think about.
Oh, really? I think it's a lifestyle, I think if you're not we are in the luxury market, so we see it differently, but people that aren't, I probably say the car, to buy the helicopter, it's like, well, that's not luxury to us. It's like, we think of it as a lifestyle. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
for
just
sure.
me.
Yeah. No, it's good. Well, this has been a real pleasure, Andrea. Thank you so much for coming on, and your bubbly personality is contagious. So I'm sure we're going to see a little bit more about you and all of you coming up soon, and maybe an announcement will be made. So everybody keep tuned in, and all the way from New York, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me all the way to Nice and Monaco. This is amazing how we're reaching the globe. I know. I'm just so thrilled that I was asked. So thank you.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode, Yachting International Radio. I'm your host, Natalia, Luxury with Natalia. Keep watching for new episodes coming soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.